The Citroen C3 has drawn in buyers for years with a funky design inside and out, but, in its 6th year on sale, it's been overtaken by fresher, better driving, roomier and more high-tech small cars. However, the little Citroen now has value on its side with a seriously cheap starting price, while its perky engines and comfortable ride make it a likable car. You can choose from 7 shades of paint, 4 contrasting roof colors and even 4 color packs that brings a choice of highlight to the plastic air bump panels on the side as well as to the front fog light surrounds. Okay, so it's not going to make a Rolls-Royce buyer jealous, but then the C3 costs less than the majority of a Rolls-Royce buyer's outfits. The striking styling of the outside is mirrored inside, where you get a rectangular theme and leather effect door pulls that look cooler than the molded ones you get in other small cars. There's even an element of customization available on top-spec models, with Citroen letting you choose from 2 optional interior themes, Teakwood or Emerald. Pros: comfortable suspension, quiet cabin on the move, quirky design inside and out. Cons: average rear seat space, hard to drive smoothly, infotainment isn't the best. There's only one option for the infotainment system, though. It's neither the sharpest looking nor quickest touchscreen available in this sort of car, but its saving grace is that Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are available across the range. Sitting in the Citroen C3's driver's seat is a bit like slouching down in a big comfortable sofa. The front chairs are wide and yielding, although they don't offer much support in bends. It isn't quite so comfortable in the back seats, headroom is just average, and even tighter if you spec the panoramic sunroof, and ultimately a Fabia, 208 and Polo all have quite a bit more real legroom. In terms of interior cubbies, the Citroen C3 is only really let down by the small glove box because its door bins are big and it has a number of smaller storage areas. The 300-litre boot is also a reasonable capacity for this size of car. It'll happily swallow a pushchair or a couple of larger suitcases, but it would be easier to load if you got an adjustable boot floor like you get in the VW Polo. Engines include 2 petrols and 1 diesel, and all are reasonably efficient. The more powerful petrol is cheap to buy, costs little to run and has zippy performance that makes it ideal for a small car that'll probably spend a lot of time in town. The less powerful petrol is a bit lethargic out of town but perfectly capable within it, while the more expensive diesel is only worth considering if you have to cover lots of miles where their improved fuel economy will pay off. Inside, the Citroen C3's cabin layout is as quirky and original as the exterior, with a fun rounded rectangle theme in the doors, air vents, even the steering wheel controls. It's supposed to echo the shape of the grille. We like it. The front seats continue the comfort mantra of the driving experience, with lots of pillowy foam padding, but the driving position is less than ideal, especially for taller drivers, and its ergonomic foibles are frustrating. The Citroen C3 has an RRP range of £17,970 to £22,790. However, on CarWow, prices for a new Citroen C3 start at £12,745 if paying cash or £200 if paying monthly, saving on average £2,342. The price of a used Citroen C3 on CarWow starts at £9,500. Every Citroen C3 comes with a driver's seat that adjusts for height and a steering wheel that moves for height and reach, so getting a comfortable driving position in the C3's soft and squidgy sofa-like front seats isn't a major problem. Sense models include electrically operated mirrors, which are easy to adjust when you're buckled into your seat, and steering wheel-mounted stereo controls. But the height-adjustable passenger seat available in the Seat Ibiza isn't even an option here. The seat is also a better bet if you need a spacious back seat. Anyone over 6 feet tall will brush their head on the Citroen C3's curved roof, and your passengers will also have less knee room than a Nissan Micra. The Citroen C3's saving grace is that with 3 in the back it doesn't feel appallingly cramped for shoulder room. The big footwells have space for everybody's feet and the middle seat itself is comfier than in alternative models. Fitting a child seat isn't a major hassle because the Citroen C3's reasonably large doors give you good access to the back seat, although they don't quite open 90 degrees, and the ISOFIX anchor points are easy to see. Once you've got over the initial shock of the Citroen C3's comically small glove box, in right-hand drive models it houses the fuse box, you'll find the Citroen's interior storage is pretty good. The front door pockets are massive, they'll carry enough bottles of water to douse a campfire, and even the smaller rear doors have space for a litre bottle of water. The insides of the door pockets are also painted white, so it's easier to sift through all the junk you store in there. On top of that, you get a tray for your phone and a couple of shelves that'll take smaller items such as a wallet. There are also a couple of cup holders in front of the gear shifter, although they're too small for a litre bottle of water. The Citroen C3's 300-litre boot is about average for this size of car, being bigger than the Ford Fiesta's, 292 litres, and smaller than the Seat Ibiza's, 355 litres. You won't exactly be bowled away by features, though. The Citroen C3 gets hooks for keeping your shopping from spilling all over the place and tethers to tie your luggage down, but that's about it. Loading is a pain because you have to lift luggage over the boot's tall load lip, and an adjustable boot floor that would solve this problem isn't an option. That said, the Citroen C3's boot has space for everyday items such as a kid's buggy, a set of golf clubs or a couple of suitcases. For anything more, though, you'll have to pull the levers on the back of the rear seats to fold them into the floor, increasing boot capacity to 922 litres. The Citroen C3 can take a decent load of boxes, suitcases and soft bags, or you can get a bike in without having to take its wheels off. That said, loading is hampered again by the high boot lip and also by the hump in the boot floor that's left when you fold away the seats. Driving the Citroen C3 is a bit like sitting in a comfortable armchair in your living room. It's quiet and relaxing, but in no way exciting, and the basic petrol engine is a bit slow. The Citroen C3 is available with two petrol engines, a choice of two diesels, and manual, or automatic gearboxes. The petrols are basically the same 1.2-litre pure tech, but tuned to produce 82 or 110 horsepower. The 82 horsepower model is perfectly adequate in town, but if you often venture further afield then go for the turbocharged 110 horsepower version. It feels quite nippy for a car this size. It's the only model available with Citroen's 6-speed automatic gearbox that changes gear smoothly and isn't jerky at low speeds in town like the one you can get in the Seat Ibiza. Even with the automatic gearbox fitted, the 110 horsepower Citroen C3 will return 50 miles per gallon, officially, or about 40 miles per gallon in the real world with a light right foot. Making a case for the 100 horsepower 1.6-litre diesel isn't easy, when the petrols already deliver such decent fuel economy, although the diesel should manage more than 60 miles per gallon. Still, you'll have to live on the motorway to make up the £1,500 premium it costs over the equivalent petrol. The Citroen C3 has an upright driving position that gives you a good view out the front of the car that isn't impeded too much by the thin pillar that runs up the sides of the windscreen. The back window seems quite small though, which causes a large blind spot towards the rear corners of the car. The Citroen C3's interior has bags of character and gives you lots of opportunities to personalize it. Dear friends, thank you all for subscribing, thank you for supporting me, love you.